kidding with his injury history?
And those are the starting lineups. Lots of interesting matches.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Utah Jazz.
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Dave. He is doing a great job. Thank you, D.A. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Jackson.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident.
Lopez is checked in for the Grizzlies. Jay comes in for Kyle Anderson. Utah also making some changes. Bradley's checked in for Howard. George Niang comes in for Bogdanovic. And it's Ish Smith in for Mike Conley. Most teams now look to run early and often, Chris. And there are some keys to finding success, aren't there, in the transition game?
Yeah, and the first key is you run fast and you speed up the pace, but that doesn't mean you hurry and take a hurried shot. Pacing and speed is all about getting in past half court to see if the defense is set, and if they're not, to take advantage. But it's a two-step process. And for teams to just run all crazy or willy-nilly like my grandfather used to say, well, you're not going to do anything but play fast and bad.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game. Well, you might think at 6'3" in shoes, Donovan Mitchell is undersized for the shooting guard position. But his combination of strength and length, along with the athleticism, help him to hold his own.
And the first one drops. Nowadays, teams looking for +6 players. That's a player whose arm span exceeds their height by at least 6 inches.
Donovan Mitchell, how about a +9? I mean, a little over 6'1" in socks with a 6'10" wingspan. Those long arms, the reason for the Spider nickname.
Here's Jay. No good with the wing jumper.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Oh, great flow to that possession. Two players totally in sync with each other.
Shoots from the corner. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3. Jazz trail by 8. Bounce pass, Smith. 52 seconds left in the first quarter. A floater. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's Jay. Utah with the rebound.
Now, you can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
You're exactly right. I mean, that's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive end.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Fournier against Mitchell. Uncovered. And again, it's Utah. And so here's Memphis. 6-point lead. Here's Jay. That 3 off the mark. And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against him. One of the better two-way guards in the NBA, Mike Conley said, isn't.
He's one of my favorite players growing up.
And you know, Conley, maybe not the size of Peyton, but Greg, he's always taken the challenge defensively.
And you can see how much of an influence the glove had on Conley. He plays a lot like him on that end.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. What stands out to you from the Grizzlies in this one?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
No question. It's been stifling thus far, preventing that offense from establishing any kind of rhythm.
They've got Jones, Alex Len out there with Clark. Then it's Evan Fournier, and it's Jay in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Jazz had a huge game.
Yes.
He had 15 points, and he was in a groove all game long, from both the free throw line and behind the arc. He performed really well, and I could see his role expanding if he continues to make that kind of impact, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks. The aggressiveness, Greg, he showed the other night. We'll see if he can match that intensity here.
I'm a believer. I think he can produce at the same level tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully he doesn't overthink it. He just needs to go out there and play his game.
No good. That would have tied it.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points. It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
And Jay gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Anderson, he's checked in for Jay. One second left. Doesn't go for it. And that'll do it for the first half. Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly...
I just wouldn't come my dream.
Checked in for the Grizzlies. And Utah with a change here, too. Bradley's checked in for Dwight Howard. And so in the game for the Jazz, Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. Bogdanovich out there with Bradley. And it's Harris in at the 3, the small forward. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Mitchell passes to Bogdanovich. Mitchell against Brooks. Mitchell's shot is good.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
20 feet out. And it's good off the back rim and in. 6 points for Jay. Here's Conley. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Kicks it to Mitchell. There's the dish to Bradley. Nice ball movement by Utah. Clock at 4. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Brooks has got 4 rebounds in this game. Yep, it counts. And now a 3-point Memphis lead.
Well, this is why Morant's teammates love to play alongside of him. I mean, exceptional vision, and he's incredibly unselfish.
And purely from a physical standpoint, John Morant has it all. The height, the long arms, the frame to put on more weight. And few players are more explosive athletically.
No good from Jay.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Mitchell in the corner to the middle. Here's Bogdanovich, and he jams it with authority.
Yeah, the length and height of Bogdanovich is impressive. Outstanding at slamming it down there when he got the chance.
And with Morant, you not only get the physical attributes, Greg, you get the mental toughness and awareness.
Yeah, this kid loves to compete. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays. I think we're looking at a potential all-NBA performer when it's all said and done.
Right side, Conley. Grizzlies with the rebound. Jackson's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. 14 feet away. Here's Cantor. And another shot. Shoots over Bradley. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Well, teams are getting shaken up a bit. Coach is usually the first to go, get fired. Do you think teams get too trigger happy with that aspect, coach first and then looking at the team?
Yeah, I do. But unfortunately, if you're the head of the team, that's the responsibility, and that's kind of that's your job to take all of the heat. Being a coach is such a thankless job. You don't get thanked unless you win the championship. If not, it's like, good job, okay. We don't care about the fires you put out. We don't care about the players you develop. We don't care about the chemistry you built. You didn't win, and so yeah, coaches are usually the first to go, and it's unfair. But hopefully they have some connections and they have a good resume, because they'll be back around somewhere else. They'll pop up somewhere else.
They sure will. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the son of an NBA player. And I'm so old, I covered his dad in college. Growing up, his parents let him find his passion, but the game was always in his genes. Jackson Jr. said, "I've always prided myself on being more than just a basketball player, but I can't deny my laser focus on the sport." Kevin, he's following in his father's footsteps, but looking to create his own legacy.
Terrific mentor, but he's just getting started, David. Thank you. And there's the pass to Jay. Goes up on the wing. And again, Memphis no good.
Tells you a little something about their team. They've been able to pull in front despite his troubles tonight.
Niang passes to Brantley. Lopez with the block.
And you got to appreciate the length.
Here's Morant. And that's an intentional foul.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Fourth team foul. Shooting for Memphis. 2 shots.
And that hurts as he doesn't get the first one to fall. Trying to focus now on the second.
And what really separates Morant? The intangibles. He has a great camaraderie with his teammates already.
Now here is Conley. Here's Mitchell. Misses the three. So it's Memphis picking up the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but in the end, everyone's satisfied.
You know, I mean, there were some times that momentum shifted, and especially early on.
Right now in my team, Showtime packs have arrived with Shaq, Weber, LeBron, Kyrie, and more. And GOAT Kareem is the collection completion reward. Did I mention GOAT Magic is also available from these packs? It's showtime, baby! Final Spotlight Sim has dropped. defeat the last 50 NBA champions for GOAT Larry Bird. And this weekend...
Few seats available for upcoming games. Please hit the booth for more information.
Greetings, everyone. You've got it live on Tuesday night coverage of the... And now, in the first half of December, more games under our belt. The power rankings starting to take shape. If you look at Dallas, they lose the top spot, taking a step back now to number 2.
And looking at Memphis.
Now when it comes... Do it along the way as opposed to waiting until the last, say, quarter or third of the season.
Well, Kev, I think you can look to the San Antonio Spurs, who I think were the first to really look hard at what we would now describe as load management. And I think the one thing is you're trying to just make sure guys are prepared for the most important point of the season. You've got to win enough to get in the playoffs and be positioned well, but your guys have also have to be healthy at the end of the year.
Here's Jay, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Sometimes you just wonder, how did Morant see that guy? The vision is special.
Brunson the pass to Kleber. Porzingis kicks to Hardaway. Stolen by Brooks. 3-on-3. Here's Jay. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
80% from the field to start, playing with a ton of confidence.
For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's Brunson. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Last time they faced off, it was right here at home where they couldn't get it done.
And sometimes you can make a few plays here and there, but never get into a real rhythm. That's what happened to them in that game.
I'll tell you, that's a great way to put it, Greg, because I thought they were all over the place. They never settled into any kind of rhythm.
To the wing right side. Let's go. Dallas again missing.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Here's Jay. And it's off from three-point range. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Trailing by 2. Here's Finney-Smith. Lays it up off the glass.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Out of Würzburg, Germany, undrafted Maxi Kleber with a strong start, Doris, to his career.
Incredible to think he grows up in the same small town as Dirk Nowitzki, and he first meets Dirk when he's 12 years old. What an amazing story for them to become teammates on the Mavericks. So cool.
Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's the pass to Jay. High post try. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Jay's got 6. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Brunson the pass to Kleber. Here's Finney-Smith. Brunson with it. No points in the game yet for him. Anderson with the block. And they get it back. Porzingis can't hit.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Morant passes to Jay. It's rebounded by Brunson.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Hardaway, no good. Memphis leading. Here's Jay. The 18-footer is right on the mark. He's got 8.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first. Kleber kicks to Hardaway. Shot clock at 6. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Porzingis way outside. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Looking at Dallas, they want to turn it around after the loss to Los Angeles. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Love the determination he showed there, getting himself into good position under the glass.
With the presence of mind to know just where the rebound was going to come down. Well timed. And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some inspiring.
Here we go now.
Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother,
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Mike.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And for Memphis, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
We've got Jay. Brook Lopez is out there with Clark. Then it's Evan Fournier, and it's Jones in at the 1. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter.
Well, it's just solid awareness by Brook Lopez, working hard to get his team a second opportunity.
Passes it to Napier. Curry on the wing. He's guarded by Fournier. Shoots from the line. No good on that one. Now Memphis takes it the other way. Pulls up from the corner. And too long on the shot.
Well, they have the advantage, but you still feel like this guy needs to find a way to get himself going. We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
Cantor checked in for Brook Lopez. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Jackson.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
The shot's good from James. Endorse those blood tests you were talking about, always subject to player permission. They want to honor player privacy.
I think you have to, Kevin, and most of the Mavs have embraced it. These tests have the ability to measure almost 50 biomarkers. As an athlete, you're always trying to stay in peak form. As an organization, you're always trying to manage appropriately their workloads.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
And Finney Smith gets it to go.
Wow, you don't see him left alone very often, and of course, he makes good use of it.
Outside Fournier. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. So as this game always evolving, fascinating to see the players who drive that change with their unique talent find a way to do things differently.
Well, probably 2 guys currently that have revolutionized the way the game is played. Stephen Curry, with the incredible range he has on his three-point shooting. You've got to guard him as soon as he crosses the half-court line. And honestly, if the goal would be good from the other side of the half-court, he'd probably push it to out there. And James Harden, so prolific at drawing fouls. It might be maddening to the fans of opposing teams, but James Harden has led the NBA or been at the top of the free throw attempts list for years now.
Great example. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And all of his athleticism on display there. Clark's work ethic makes him lethal on that offensive backboard.
Napier, that shot missing. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. The offensive rebound. No good from Clark.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
There's a minute 40 left to play here in the half. Looking to end his cold spell. No good from Jay.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Hardaway with a wide open look. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. To the left wing. Here's Jay. And again, Memphis no good.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk. Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I think Coach calls his timeout right now because he's not happy with the distribution of shots. Difficult shots, contested shots. You've got to get a better offensive rhythm.
Six seconds left in the first half of basketball. From outside the arc. And we'll be back with you shortly. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to... 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg.
Is crucial in today's
recently had Chris Webber on the show, and we announced that we partnered with him to throw a friendly invitational tournament.
And now we have an update. We know who's participating in the Chris Webber Invitational. So without further ado, here's who's competing.
Team Manning versus Team Webber. The concept, bring 2K Giants together with NBA legends in a best-of-5 series. First up, joining Team Manning, we'll have NBA dunk legend and king of 2K trash talk,
tough break for
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Well, you can't help but notice the high style of the Grizzlies as they came through the tunnel early. And now a moment to check. We are nearly... Well, the G League continues to be a great asset for the NBA. Great stuff, David. Thank you. Looking at the starting five for the Phoenix Suns. Rubio and Booker. They're the backcourt. Oubre out there with Mirotic. And it's Ayton in at the five. And... great camaraderie. Team dinners and team trips, and I would think that would help.
Well, that helps with your personal savings. You're not spending.
Absolutely,
You're
yeah,
not
no, per
spending
diem.
your per diem.
No per diem spend.
Well, there's a tremendous article that was written last year about what it is that Greg Popovich created in San Antonio. Funny thing, when that article came out about the Spurs dinner culture, I had people that were calling me up going, "You should read this," and I said, "Read it. I lived it." Are you kidding me? But absolutely, time like that, time where you have conversation, time in front of one another, where you learn about. Hopefully you're learning about the vulnerabilities of your teammate, because in the end, that's what ends up making you stronger. So I think those kind of things help immensely.
Booker looking around. Shoots over Fournier. Connects on the 9-footer.
He looks to score all the time, and easy ones there for Booker.
Jones the pass to Jay. Corner shot. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
One of the more skilled offensive players that is on the floor here tonight, Kevin. Not an easy fella to hold in check.
Right wing. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Personal foul.
Mikal Bridges picks one up.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
Interesting that Phoenix has gone through all these different iterations since the loss of Hall of Famer Steve Nash, but this young core potentially coming together where they've bookended their front court and their back court with Ayton and Booker.
Sinks the triple.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
And the Grizzlies leading by 6. Jones the pass to Jay. Shoots from the baseline. The shot missing. And Phoenix will come the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
Yeah, they couldn't do it in that one. Always a step slow in closing out the shooters, and maybe even recognition of who was on the floor. Just not enough energy, and that's a tough way to win on the road.
And so it's Memphis with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Looking good at this point. But and if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And looking up.
Thank you for calling T-Mobile. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties and
What
are
we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you guys think?
I mean, the rebounding was the difference in that first period. You've got to block these guys out.
Yeah, rebounding can also be just about will, and they showed some of that in going in there and collecting some boards.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So on the floor for Memphis, Brook Lopez is out there with Clark. Then there's Jay. Then it's Jones. And it's Fournier in at the 2-guard spot. It's deflected.
Well, this is where measurements don't tell the whole story. Clark is a tremendous shot blocker despite having an average wingspan.
Jay, defended by Bridges. The shot's good from Jay. Jay's got 4 points in the quarter. Suns trail by 10. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. The drive by Booker, and the layup's good off the glass. Booker's got 6 points.
Devin Booker will score by any means necessary, and that time over decent defense, getting the contact.
Timeout call, the Grizzlies. They went to Phoenix for their last meeting with the Suns and came out with a win.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to their defense.
For Phoenix, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
You've got to appreciate their ability to make free throws, 81% as a team.
Free throw drops for Ayton.
And when you watch DeAndre Ayton, you really are just floored by how he moves. The amount of speed and agility he has for a player as solid as Ayton is doesn't come around very often.
Well, a missed box out and an easy tip in, but it's because of the activity as the ball is going up, Kevin, finding yourself in the right spot, just using some effort.
For Phoenix, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now. First free throw is good.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Clark, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Jones comes in for Dylan Brooks. Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for the Suns. Bridges comes in for Oubre. And those physical attributes of Ayton are so imposing. Greg, who does he remind you of?
I mean, for current players, you see a bit of Embiid and how they both move so fluidly for 7-footers. From the past, I see a bit of David Robinson in his game.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Enes Kanter. Pass to Booker. Over Jones. And with that shot, the Grizzly lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Devin Booker.
That's more like it, rounding into form after a very, very difficult first quarter.
And the pass to Jay. A baseline Jay, and he gets the bucket. Jay's got 12. Suns trail by 7.
And if they're thinking, they can get a 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what they're going to run here. Got to run a good play.
And Mirotic kicks to Bridges. It's good from long range. 6 points for him.
No way he's going to pass that shot up. The D is way too far back and relaxed in getting out on it.
No good from Jay.
Well, maybe not the best shot against that kind of defense, but he still has the ability to knock that kind of shot down.
And there it is for him. 8 points for Mikal Bridges. There's 10 seconds left now here in the second. Jones, the pass to Jay. Jacks up a 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. And the Grizzlies lead by 5. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Brooke. Where is this team right now?
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, Grizzlies with some changes. Alex Len's checked in for Enes Kanter. Jay comes in for Anderson, and Evan Fournier subbed in for Dylan Brooks. Phoenix also making some changes. Derek Favors checked in for Mirotic. Johnson comes in for Kelly Oubre, and it's Beasley in for Ricky Rubio. On the court for the Suns, we've got Devin Booker. Favors is out there with Johnson. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's Ayton in at the 5, roaming the paint. When it comes to hustle, effort, who would you put on the floor to get those 50-50 points that are just so important? Sometimes, with the winner loss in the balance.
Shooting. I watch Kawhi Leonard, and even though he's a superstar player, there's still some efficiency in his action to go and get that ball. He just never stops. He never stops. And so, yeah, he might not get dirty, but he doesn't have to because he outsmarts everybody else to get to it. And we have scrappy guys like Marcus Smart and Patrick Beverly, who we've talked about as being nuisances on the court. But those guys are invaluable to any coaching staff. And when they have those kind of plays, it just gets everybody going and brings a level of energy back to the game.
It does energize it. You're exactly right. Favors can't get it to go. And the Grizzlies leading by 6. Jay, defended by Bridges. Here's Clark. Phoenix grabs the miss. 1:25 left in the third. And there's Bridges on the assist by Booker. Booker's got 3 assists now in this one.
Now Booker is a special offensive player, can score, and starting to show his playmaking.
And again, Memphis no good.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
Passes it to Favors. Dishes it to Bridges. From past the arc. It's Clark with the rebound. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And it's Clark slamming it down.
Looking nimble on the drive there. Once Clark sees an opening in the defense, he's looking to exploit.
Jones.
Booker against Jones. Booker, right side. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Pass to Jay. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. This will make 5 trips now to the free throw line for him tonight.
And how about the job he's done at the free throw line?
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
And for him, that is an ugly trip to the line. Rarely do you see him do that.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Clark, it's good on the putback. And the Grizzlies lead by 4.
And all of his athleticism on display there. Clark's work ethic makes him lethal on that offensive backboard.
The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. Well, the Suns making a change here.
One shot.
Yeah, that'll ice it right there. Not everybody can keep their composure at the line in such a big situation.
And so the Grizzlies take the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional.
This is Hank Hornet on 98.9.
Let's get to it.
I'm gonna have to go Mamba mentality on this, and I'm gonna take this one. So, Dax, you're a good guy, man, but I gotta Kobe this one.
I'm still pretty confident that I can. Hopefully, I can get this dub and represent the West.
Best man win. Big fans of both of them, but they're gonna have to fight this one out in Ireland.
Let's flip a coin to see who picks teams first. Stacks, what are you picking, heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Sad news out of Minnesota today as franchise cornerstone Karl Anthony Towns goes down with a pretty serious injury.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own routine. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Dallas, off to a great start this season, currently in second. And of course, Memphis, 2 spots down.
And you know, for the man,
teams going head-to-head for it.
Yeah, I think it's about bragging rights. It's playoff implications down the road. I hope this one lives up to the hype.
I think it's gonna. I really do. Jay's checked in for the Grizzlies. To end the run, the Grizzlies keeping it alive with a new 14. Brooks with the bucket.
just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rag. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time.
Dallas out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Dwight Powell's checked in for the Mavericks. Jalen Brunson comes in for Nathan. Clark, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Fournier comes in for Brooks. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Hardaway finds Curry. It's Clark with the rebound.
Wow, that's one you just kind of assume is going in. Tough luck.
Pass to Jay. Connects on the foul line jumper.
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
And early on, if you're him, you just want to see the ball go through the net and get into some kind of rhythm.
Hardaway, and then Hardaway with the dunk.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Morant passes to Jay. Porzingis with the block.
And with his limp, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame.
Curry's shot is good.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
It makes sense, right? You're trying to get off to a fast start, and he can help with that.
Count it. Dallas leading by 7. And here's Brunson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
And just a nice job there to shake free of the D inside and then drain the jumper.
And Fournier kicks to Morant. Here's Jay. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. Jay has got 6 points.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Brunson the pass to Porzingis. We've got 28 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Brunson. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. The Grizzlies trail by 7. Here's Jay. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
It's his first trip to the line.
At the line for 2.
And he's good on the second. Now here is Hardaway. He's guarded closely. Pass to Brunson. The 3. No good. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
In that first period, they showed a willingness to make the extra pass.
And that's really hard on a defense, having to play deeper into the clock and having to cover a lot more ground.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor right now for the Mavericks. Wright is out there with Jalen Brunson. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. Then there's Dwight Powell. And it's Boucher in at the 4-man position. And they're able to recover. Inside. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Evan Fournier. The Mavericks shooting it.
Okay.
Substitution.
1:53 left in the second quarter. Brunson finds Porzingis. Back to Brunson. To the inside. Changes up. And the impact that Porzingis can have on the defensive end, Greg, cannot be overstated.
The reach and leaping ability he has paired with his timing make him a premier rim protector. And what sets him over the top really is that fearlessness. He will challenge anyone and everyone at the rim.
Shot from the wing, and the shot is good. The Maverick lead has been cut down to just 1 on the basket from Jay. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Brunson. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Pass to Curry. 6 to shoot. Right outside. Fires from deep. Brooks grabs the board.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Here's Jay. Porzingis with the block.
It's been a rough quarter for him. Can't seem to find any kind of rhythm.
Again, the miss by the Mavericks. So for Dallas, their last game a win against Minnesota. They now take the lead. Jay has got the lead up to 2 now for the Grizzlies.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Outside, Porzingis. Trying to find Wright. He's got it now. And he banks in the layup. Wright's got the game tied up here for Dallas.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Morant passes to Jay. Lets it go from the wing. Porzingis with the rebound. Right outside. Baseline Jay on the way. Off the left rim and out. It's a tie game in Dallas. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both. Making some changes here. The Mavericks leading, taking a look at the Grizzlies. Jay out there with Len. Then it's Evan Fournier. Then it's Jones. And it's Lopez in at the center position. You know, Smitty, every team at some point faces some locker room turmoil. How tough is it to balance team chemistry?
You know, it's very tough. Sometimes you have those 1 or 2 player additions that it just changes the dynamic of your team. Sometimes you lose a leader. He might not be the best player. Then a lot of times guys are playing for contracts, and some guys get a little bit upset because they figure they're playing for their individual success versus team. But when you have that right chemistry, it is beautiful.
Puts up a 3. No good from Jay.
His struggles from the field continue, yet they still hold the lead.
That one goes in. Napier's got 5 points so far.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Here's Jay. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. And so it's Wright bringing up the ball for Dallas. They'll face the Lakers after this one, and that'll be at home. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Here's Jay. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. 14 points for him.
Working in that mid-range area. The analytics may not love it, but that's a good look for him.
Here's Wright. Len with the block. Outside Fournier. The pass to Jay. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
Brunson the pass to Wright. Knocked away. Here's Jay. Drops in the breakaway layup. And now a 3-point Memphis lead.
Well, that's why they're in front. Aggressive play at both ends. Nicely done.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1. That free throw good from Jay. Both teams will make substitutions. No good on the second free throw. Now Hardaway 16 points for him. Will it go? No good on the last second attempt there. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? Grizzlies lead by 4. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his speed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Creating plays for others, it's an art form, but it's also a discipline. Fantastic job.
It's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure.
I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, David Aldridge, Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports Group, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching.
All for uniform man. I mean, who cares?
Thanks for coming in. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, you got it.
I like it. Great choice.
You know what? I'll go with this one. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, I'm fucking up too.
Yo. Rob. Motherfucker. I was just gonna pass it to ourselves, bro.
Yo.
My bad. That was hella late, bro. Oh shit, I heard that shit out of that.